Daily Broadside Day 541. I was at the doctor's office last week, and when I got there, filling out all the, checking in with the lady, and she hands me a piece of paper. Just fill out this quick survey and just hand it to the nurse when she comes to get you. So I sit down, and it's like, 8 questions, and it was all like, are you feeling emotionally distraught today? And I'm like, no, and it was like, kinda, a little bit, sorta, maybe, yes, no, absolutely not, absolutely. I mean, it was like a gradient of things you could choose from. And I was like, the next question is like, are you depressed and wanting to hurt yourself? And it just kept getting towards these suicidal questions, and I'm like, man, how many people are they actually coming across with in a month, right? That are actually, and it must be one of those things, like if one person, it helps, you got somebody coming in there with like a sinus infection, and then, they admit that they were going to go home and kill themselves. It begs the question, why did they get help with a sinus infection? It seems like a waste of money and time, but you're going to take a Z-Pack and not even finish the first day, and you're already offing yourself. But anyway, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but, it obviously, I guess it helps somebody, I don't know, but I was talking to, prior to going to this doctor, I was talking to a friend of mine who's a nurse, and she and I got on the conversation of colonoscopies, and I said, I'm getting to the age where I think I got to get one of those. She's like, I said, I'm at the age where I got to get one of those, I'm pretty sure. She's like, no, it's after 50. I'm like, I don't know, man, I think it's like 45 or something. I said, I think I should have already had one. She's like, no, it's 50. So I go to the doctor, and I'm talking to the PA lady there, and she's telling me all this stuff, and so we're scheduling a physical, for later at the end of the year, and she says, oh, and you're of the age you got to get a colonoscopy. I'm like, aha! And she's like, everything okay? I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm just winning an argument when I leave here. And so she's like, I said, so when do they do that these days? And she's like, like 45, 46. I'm like, that's what I thought. So it's no longer 50. She's like, yeah, we changed that a while back. I'm like, exactly. And so I call her as I'm leaving. I'm like, well, guess who's wrong and guess who's right? And she's like, whatever. And she's like, I'll take you. And I'm like, what do you need to take me for? I have a car and a license. I can drive. The clutch is on the left. And she's like, you can't drive home from a colonoscopy. You'll be on propofol. I was like, I can drive on propofol. I don't even know what that is. And she's like, that's what Michael Jackson was taking. He was like a comatose status. And I'm like, oh, well, I can Uber. That's no big deal. She's like, oh, no, I'll be there because I'm going to record you on propofol. So I say that to say this. If some good video footage comes out of me on propofol, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it is fun to say, propofol, falafel, propofol, then I'll post it if I say some dumb crap on here that day that I'm high enough to get a colonoscopy and all. And when I was traveling somewhere Friday afternoon, I was on a 2-lane highway, or a 4-lane highway really. I pulled up to a light, and this girl, I was coming up to a light, but as we were, this red C7 comes by me, C7 Corvette, all right? And slows down. I look down into it, and it's a girl driving. She looks like she's in like her late 50s. And it's a manual. And I'm like, ooh, my dream car. C7, 7-speed, Z06, hey, giddy. If I didn't love the C5 so much, I would have already gotten rid of mine and upgraded to the C7. But ultimately, I'm going to get rid of my C5 and get a different Z06, because those things are just, so evil. But I get up there, and I'm like, now that's a woman right there, She's got the Targa top open. Oh, it's just beautiful, right? So I'm driving, and, we hit a couple lights, and everything goes on about its life, and, I don't see it because it goes way on down the road. And then I look back, and I see a C6, red C6 coming at me. Dude pulls up to the light next to me, and I look down at it, and it's cammed. It's nasty. It sounded just nasty. He'd done some work to it. It had drag radials on the back and everything, automatic. And I'm like, slow speed stall, just not impressed. And it's just, and I say that to say this, it is amazing to me, and I'm not a huge fan of the C6, only because I don't like the headlights, and I don't like the dash. Everything about the C7 is beautiful. I like the C5 just fine, other than the fact that Z06, you can't get I wish I could get a Targa in mine. I had to get a hardtop to get the Z06. But other than that, I love it. It's a great car. But the C6, there's things about it I don't really care for, but it's just amazing that you could have one person just have one that's just awesome, and one transmission just ruins everything for you. I don't understand that. And this kid looked like he was like 19 too. It's like, why are you driving an automatic C6? Oh, it's more consistent times. I don't care about all that. It's not as fun. It's not a car, in my opinion. Okay. You can take that to the bank and smoke it, or whatever they say. Put that in your pipe and take it to the bank and smoke it at the bank. And you can't smoke at the bank. Michael Jordan, I bet there's days where he wakes up and he just wants to throw on a damn pair of Converse or Adidas. He's just tired of wearing Jordans. I mean, think about it. If your name was on the shoe, it doesn't mean that's the greatest shoe on earth. There's got to be times where he just wants to throw on a different shoe and just live his own life and not be judged. But I bet you he wears Adidas around the house. Of course, he can't go anywhere, and be seen in anything like that, because of course that destroys his brand. So that's got to be kind of frustrating. And if you've got an angle grinder and you use any kind of spanner wrench or anything to change the blades, you're a pussy, okay? Just lock the blade cylinder and just twist that thing off. I do it with my hand every time I change a blade. You don't need to get the thing out and tighten down to the ends of the earth. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. It works just fine with your hands, okay? Safety be damned. I've never had a blade come flying off and want to kill me. Could happen tomorrow, but it hasn't happened so far. And if you've ever had anybody put your socks on before, it's just like the greatest experience on earth. I don't know why something so simple is just so satisfying. I think I could hire somebody just to put my socks on every day, and then they could pop in, do that, and then pop on out. Giddy.